Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Contract of employment and government regulation of business. An employer is somebody or an institution that hires or provides work for another person called employee for an agreed remuneration. Duties of an employer includes the payment of remuneration to the employee, provision of safe place of work, provision of necessary tools and equipment. He must indemnify his employee against any loss arising from the proper performance of his duty. He must accept responsibility for personal injury of his employee in the course of carrying out the duties assigned to him. He must also provide job security for his employees. The rights of an employer includes the right to use invention of employee, the right to fix remuneration of the employee, right to relieve employee of his job, right to employ or hire anybody. The employee is someone who agrees to perform services to an employer in exchange for the payment of an agreed remuneration. The duties of an employee includes performance of duties according to the terms of the employer, keeping secrets of his employer. He obeys orders and instruction. He must serve faithfully and honestly. He exercises good faith. He must be accountable to his employer, and also he must not delegate his duties. Government regulation of duties. The government lays down certain rules and regulations that will help control and regulate business activities in a country. There are various ways by which government regulates business, and they include the business license or regulation, the patent rights, trademarks, copyrights, approval of business location, publication of accounts, taxing companies' profit, use of standard weight and measures, ensuring production of safe goods, regulation of disposal of waste, and regulation over ownership of business. By business license or registration. Under the Company Act, all businesses must be registered either as sole trading, partnership, public company, or cooperative. In Nigeria, it is mandatory for all business enterprises to be registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission before commencing operation. Certificates of incorporation will be issued to any business incorporated. Such organization must abide by the provisions of the Company and Allied Matters Act. The patent right. This is an exclusive right granted by government to a person to make use or sell an invention for a certain period of years. This gives the owner some degree of monopoly of the invention. Nobody can make use of such invention without permission from the rightful owner. This is to encourage innovation and allow the inventor to recoup his research costs. Trademarks. Trademark is a distinctive symbol, special mark, or design that is given to a producer to distinguish or identify its product from other products. It is a form of product differentiation. Trademark is a legal term covering words and symbols which can be registered and protected. Once a producer has registered a trademark, any infringement will attract the wrath of the law. Examples of trademarks are jig, power zones, etc. They are all different trademarks for cleaning or washing materials. Copyright is an exclusive or sole right granted to writers of literary works. musicians, and artists to produce his work for a specified period of time. Another person cannot reproduce such work without a written permission from the copyright owner. Literary copyright will last for 50 years after the death of the author, while musical rights will only last for 50 years after its release. Approval of business location. Government can control and regulate business by giving approval for the location of a business enterprise. Sometimes they do this by establishing industrial estates. Publication of accounts. Here, public liability companies are mandated to publish their annual accounts for public consumption. This is to prevent fraudulent practices. Taxing companies' profits. Business can also be regulated by introducing tax on the profit of some business enterprises, while poor companies may have their tax reduced through concession in order to encourage them. All business enterprises are mandated to use standard weights and measures for the products offered for sale. For example, in soft drinks industry, there are 30 cl, 25 cl, 35 cl measures, etc. Another way is to ensure that goods offered for consumption are safe and of high quality. Regulation of disposal of waste. In the regulation of disposal of waste, businesses are also mandated to introduce measures to dispose their waste in such a way that there will be no environmental pollution. While in the regulation over ownership of business, ownership of business can also be regulated through some policies like indigenization, commercialization, and privatization, as we've earlier discussed. Some reasons for government regulation of business includes to ensure industrial harmony between the employers and workers, to ensure provision of quality products, to ensure uniformity in commercial and economic policies, to ensure the development of the economy, to ensure regular supply of essential goods and services, to raise revenue through tax imposition for certain purposes. For example, in Nigeria, companies are paying educational tax, value added tax, that is the VAT, and others.